everyone. I am Dr. Annabelle A. Gordonas, and today we have a great topic because I'm sure that this will help you big time as you begin your flexible learning come August. So our session today is titled Digital and Media Platforms, Innovative Applications for Modern Type of Teaching. So the session outlines that we are about to demystify include the landscape of education in the time of COVID-19, the Philippine ICT integration models, the 7Cs, and the digital and media platforms. So I am hoping that after this webinar, you'll be able to identify the possible applications and media platforms that you might want to integrate in your daily lessons. But always remember that before we implement this, kailangan may needs assessment muna so that we can identify and explore on who among our students have access to uh, synchronous learning if you would like to choose this particular classroom loop. Now, when the curveball of pandemic has thrown at us, basically we are, education sector is on a tightrope, no? With around 195 countries deciding for school closures, and as a matter of fact, a billion population of learners have been affected. So, as an educator, as a teacher, it brought me to three important matters, no, in the time of COVID-19. So, as a teacher, I was thinking of the Maslow and Bloom. This was actually shared by a famous Filipino speaker, Jim Toscano, who also stressed that firstly, we will be, of course, looking at how our students are doing now, say physiologically. Are their basic needs answered and attended by their parents, by the community they're living in? And of course, after maybe tending their physiological needs, how about their capacity to also have that continuity of learning? So along the way, as a teacher, it's our main concern that the Maslow and Bloom have been achieved by our learners. Kasi, ito yun eh, learning is a continuous process, we know that. That's why for the 3-month duration of this COVID-19 pandemic, we were attending seminars and webinars online just to capacitate ourselves, toward this new environment that we are about to unfold. And we know also that our students have the right to education regardless of the different factors, that they are experiencing right now. It's our duty and mandate to reverberate the type of education that um, they are needing to have or to acquire, in this time of pandemic. So I have here a big question. Are we ready, teachers? How about our students? Are we ready for this type of new learning milieu? So, siguro sa atin, kasi we do have that access to internet connection, so it's easy for us to explore and to discover some of the modern tools that we know, right? So, how about our students? Pero I have seen a teacher or social networking site post where teachers from Davao were having their or were putting their tents on a specific location because they don't have internet connection. So they need to go to a place where the internet connection is possible. How about our students? Do they have their gadgets? No. For the city mayors here in Manila, some of them have already given their um, willingness to help the Department of Education. Pero sana naman hindi lang DepEd, the public school teachers. They will also consider other uh, schools like the private schools, right? Because in this time of crisis, mas kailangan din nila ng support. Okay? At ano din man yung mga long-term solutions na dapat natin gawin. Kasi with this crisis that we are experiencing nowadays, we are also duly bound to not just look at the short-term solutions na meron tayong budget. And what about and in the next 5 years, ano yung gagawin natin para continuous yung learning? How can we tie partnership with the stakeholders? No? How can we support our administrators? How can we collaborate with our co-teachers? And most importantly, how can we encourage and help our learners, no, to to do their own thing by studying, no? Kahit mayroong mga problema, no, in this time of COVID-19. So, we do reflect kasi importante din sa atin na how can we transition ourselves toward the new normal? Okay. Ako, I belong to a state university organization where, or institution where we are required to do flexible learning. No? And ako naman, for 5 years, I've been discovering and exploring some of the media tools that I can use in my classroom. I've been writing modules 3 years ago, and right now editing, and I would like to publish it. So, how about some teachers na medyo hindi pa nag-explore sa mga ganyan? So, it's quite a great pathway for us to really look into this situation kasi may mga teachers na hindi talaga that ready, and this was actually revealed in the study of UNESCO. Okay? So in these challenging times, tools, resources, and tips are plentiful, but how do we find ones that really work? This is basically true kasi I will be presenting you a wide variety of tools and apps later. I'm not saying that you are going to use all of these things. No, what I would like you to do is just choose the most suitable ones, no? Which for you ay talagang user-friendly for your students. Ikaw din ay you would like to go simple, pero if ikaw naman kung merong Wi-Fi internet connection na maganda and you would like to be uh, presenting highly augmented type of tools in your own classroom, you can, but be sure your students can adjust and can collaborate with you as you begin your flexible learning. Okay, ito yung pangatlo, pedagogical innovation towards blended learning. Okay, so ano yung mga tips and tricks, tools and apps that we are about to use? Kasi I have seen that elementary and high school teachers are used to really presenting, for example, formative way of assessing their students, kailangan integrative or interactive, no? So, paano mo yun gagawin sa college kasi medyo formal, although we are also embracing some creative tricks, no, how to motivate our students. But when it comes to elementary and high school teachers, for me, it's quite more challenging. Okay, so have you come to thank yourself for being able to have this luxury na meron tayo ngayon? Because, well, other teachers do not have the same experience, right? So according to PISA 2018 survey, Filipino teachers have the necessary technical and pedagogical skills to integrate digital devices in instruction. As a matter of fact, we garnered the third or fourth rank with this type of indicator. So it really means that we are ready. Pero that study was a random, I used a random sampling type of a survey, and um, five Filipino representatives were invited to be part of that survey. And maganda naman, pero there are other indicators which Philippines performed low. Okay? So this is one of the things that we need to look into as well. And during the course of COVID-19, lumabas na din yung flexible learning, blended learning na tinatawag din natin, a combination of online classroom learning and the face-to-face interaction. No? Pero for now, it's impossible for us to do the brick and mortar interaction or yung physical interaction sa classes because of this pandemic. So we need to accept. No? Acceptance is the key for us to do and act so that come opening of the class, we can apply and we are ready. Okay. So siguro naman for the 3-month duration that you're attending webinars, you are actually ready in embracing the new normal. So the question here is, how do we design technology-supported learning in the time of COVID-19? So we are speaking of the modules that we have crafted. No? I've been, as what I have mentioned, I've been crafting 3 years already, no, as regards modules. So hindi na siya mahirap sa akin. And I'm using the OBE based. I've been watching webinars on module writing and I see maganda rin naman, no? Pero we do have different formats, but in the for the higher education institutions, we are using the OBE format. So I hope maganda rin naman that you have your own modules kasi if you want to transform this one into books, then hello, this is one way to get promotion, di ba? We publish books, researches, and etc. But most importantly for now, our concern is, are we ready to craft modules? Are we ready to design apps and tools na dapat preferably all offline na pwedeng ma-access ng estudyante? No? That is why ready tayo sa audio recording, video recording. Explore nyo lang yun. We still have 2 months to prepare for our classes. No? So, it's quite heavy when we see one of our students who cannot really go, no, as you give your instructions. For example, you're using Google Classroom, so kailangan ano pa din, you should develop that empathy so that your students will be able to also catch up with the lesson. Now, para maging successful, no, yung integration ng digital media platforms natin, let's try to have a short review, or kung first time yung malaman itong ICT integration models, then this could be the best solution for you uh, to be thriving, no, in this new paradigm shift. So ano ba yung tinatawag na ICT integration model? So ito yon, TPACK, SAMR, and Technology Integration Matrix. Okay? So what then would be the implication of using this model? So let me explain this one by one. So ito yon, no? TPACK, SAMR, and TIM. So when we say TPACK, it stands for Technological Pedagogical Content Knowledge. Okay? So TPACK attempts to identify the nature of knowledge required by teachers for technology integration in their teaching, while addressing the complex, multifaceted, and situated nature of teacher knowledge. Kailangan hindi nawawala yung uh, pinaka-importante, no? Yung theories and application, and at the same time, yung technology that you might want to adopt, no? So that the effective teaching and learning, no, can take place. So yon, this is introduced by the Philippine educational system. So what does CK, or what does TPACK mean? So it means CK for content knowledge, PK for pedagogical knowledge, TK for technological knowledge, TPK for technological pedagogical knowledge, PCK, pedagogical content knowledge, and lastly is technological pedagogical content knowledge. So how do you do this in your own classroom setting? Okay, so let me give you an example, pero let's ask this question first. How do you integrate pedagogy, technology, and content at the same time? Kasi when you introduce a 1-hour lesson, dapat hindi lang ikaw magpo-focus sa technology. Kailangan you will also um, let your students acquire cognitive side that they need to bring. I mean, at the end of the lesson, they can get a basket of learning. Well, also demonstrating and exploring on a particular app that you are introducing, and the content, no, the content that to yan, content pinaka-importante yan, no. So they can perform it if you have giving them all the information, the knowledge, and the facts that they need to acquire before mastering a specific skill. So, content, pedagogy, and technology. Ano yung ginamit mo na approach so that the teacher or the student would be able to demonstrate the mastery of learning. So, for example here, if you are a TVL and TLE teacher, using the pedagogical content knowledge is to cook a Filipino dish, develop a schematic diagram, and evaluate using a given rubric. No? So if you would see here, ano yung pedagogy na ginamit, no? So it's a schematic diagram, ano yung ginamit na content dito. So Filipino dish, and for the knowledge, it could be done through a given rubric. So another, kung gusto mo namang mag-infuse na ng technology, so this is how you're going to do that. Perform a Filipino dish using a localized ingredient by groups, and using the procedures in the schematic diagram, create a tutorial, multimedia, and present during the discussion. Kaya maganda rin na as a teacher, you will, if you are, kasi importante yung collaborative learning sa online learning, for example, if you have chosen that. At meron ka ng needs assessment that all of your students can have access, no, to internet, or kung isa sa grouping man yan, one of the members of the group has a Wi-Fi connection, so you can let them do tutorial. No? So, at ikaw din mismo, as a teacher, you can make and perform tutorial videos kasi more on skills kayo eh. No? So, mahirap siya at the onset. No? It took me a month to master recording. Mahirap siya kasi you are recording, you are speaking, you are thinking of the things that you're going to say. Pinakamahirap sa akin for me is the preparation of the PowerPoint. Usually, it took me 1 week. And for this PowerPoint talk, aside sa lahat ng apps na binibigay ko po sa inyo here in this talk, yung PowerPoint, siguro it will take me usually 1 week kasi pinag-iisipan, pinaghahandaan. Okay? It's not just kung ano yung gusto mong ilagay, you're going to put it in there. It's not like a bed of roses. Okay? Another one here is first, if you're a social science teacher, when you're using PCK, group students and ask them to create symbolic representations of sustainable development goals in relation to Philippines context. So ano yung sustainable development goals? I'm pretty sure you know this. No? It is a global goal na in 2030, yung mga problems natin in poverty, terrorism, environment, etc. ay ma-mitigate yung mga problems. So, pag gusto naman ni teacher to infuse technology, so ito yon, facilitate the production of an infographic, no, in symbolic representation of sustainable development goals. So again, magkakaroon ka na ng needs assessment kasi you are letting them do an infographic, and kailangan po may internet connection yan pag may gusto ng mga samples or whatever. So be sure na kung grouping man ito, be sure your students can easily bring that power, no, to craft an infographic with the use of the internet connection. Okay, so yun po yung TPACK. And for now, we'll have substitution, augmentation, modification, or redefinition model, or SAMR, which is a model designed to help educators infuse technology into teaching and learning. So na-intertextualize pa rin yung TPACK to that of SAMR. No? This is actually popularized by Dr. Ruben Puentedura, which will elevate, no, the teacher's capacity to reinforce technology in teaching. So ano yon? Uh, it's like when you drink a coffee from the most simple ones to exploring to the most uh, innovative ones. So for example, we do have S, substitution. It's where the teacher or the technology acts as a direct tool substitute with no functional change. So, pag pumupunta ka sa Starbucks, di ba? Ano yung order mo? For example, cappuccino. So, it's a cup of coffee. And then you would like to augment or where the technology acts as direct tool substitute with functional improvement. So you would like to explore on another type of coffee. So meron tayong latte, no? And then modification, which the technology allows for significant task redesign. So caramel, macchiato. So pwedeng ganun naman, another innovation. And the next one is redefinition. Here, the tech allows for the creation of new tasks previously inconceivable. So, pumpkin spice. So, if you are using this in the same with that of technology, you are allowing your students to explore from the simple task to that of a more complex one. So, see, you can see really that there is an improvement. Okay? So, for example, in this type of assignment, okay, a handwritten paper. So for a substitution, the teacher lets the students use the word processor, no, which replaces a pen, pencil, paper in a writing assignment. In augmentation, the word processor and text-to-speech function, which are used to improve the writing process. The text-to-speech function is accessible, no, if you have an Android cell phone so, or the Apple app type of device. So you can access that one. And modification, so the document created using the word processor and text-to-speech function, which is shared on a blog where feedbacks can be received and incorporated to help improve the quality of writing. The next one is redefinition. Okay, so instead of a written assignment, students convey analytic thought using multimedia tools. So it depends on you what particular multimedia tool you'll be asking them to do and enhance their level of work. The next one is if the lesson is about art and painting. So original assignment, draw a picture using traditional brush, paint, paper. Of course, there is a big difference between doing this by hand in a traditional manner or by doing it digitally. So, for example, the original assignment is drawing a picture using traditional brush, paint, paper, okay? So, substitution, use a digital drawing painting program like the MS Paint. Nandun na naka-install sa, computer, okay? Augmentation, use a tool that allows the creation of your masterpiece to be played back like edu creations, no? And modification naman, pull a background image to use a canvas, no? So you could even scan something, hand-drawn, and use that. And lastly, redefinition, create artwork collaborative using a collaborative online whiteboard like Twidla. So this is very important. So pag gusto mong mag-explore ka, no? Pag face-to-face, we are using a chalk. Pero ito naman, yung Twidla, you can use this, no, for an online whiteboard. What you just need is patience para i-explore itong particular app na ito. So we also have, for example, the lesson is physical education. So the assignment or the directions is for the students to learn to hit a baseball well, no? So original assignment, learning how to hit a baseball by watching and listening to a coach or physical education instructor show you and then trying it to yourself. No? So for the substitution process, here the coach or the teacher videos the training exercise and uses this as the lesson. I've been watching webinars at ito yung mga isa sa mga concerns ng physical education teachers. Paano gagawin yung mga skill type of lessons. So ito na yung answer nyo. You do tutorial videos, right? And then we do have augmentation, where the coach or the teacher videos the training exercise and provides links to other training content, videos, and articles from other coaches, etc. So, pag English yun, parang you are using intertextuality. Do not just settle for one video alone. You can let your students explore on other materials as well. This could be videos, audios, articles, and etc. And for that, diversified and integrated yung learning na na-experience ng estudyante natin. The next one is modification. Okay? So the coach, the teacher videos the training exercise and flips the lesson. Okay? Having students watch it as homework and using class time to practice and reinforce techniques. So, for example, if you're teaching phonology or speech in your classroom. This is for speech teachers or English teachers. So when you do have tutorial drills, no, where you post it via YouTube, and then your students can access these videos in their own path, place time, and pace of study, kasi you are able to post it, right? And red definition, students watch video examples and practice the techniques, then the coach teacher videos them hitting goals and provides feedback about their technique. Okay, so you can see really that the teacher lets the students explore from the fundamental constructs of learning a skill to that of a more complicated ones. Pero be sure, teachers, that you were able to again monitor the accessibility of your students when it comes to uh, internet connection. Diba? Wala silang ilaw. Yung mga, I mean, be kind and compassionate, no, toward your students. Another one for if you're an English teacher, understanding Shakespeare, original assignment, for example, we read a Shakespeare play in traditional and printed format. So for a substitutional process, read Shakespeare text online, okay? Augmentation, use online dictionaries, study guides, history sites to supplement reading. So I guess you're using Merriam-Webster dictionary for online dictionaries, right? Ang maganda sa Merriam and other dictionaries is you can hear how the words are being pronounced, right? I was actually corrected kasi dapat daw Miriam. Pero I've been searching it, pwede naman po yung Miriam. So be sure pag nagko-correct din kayo, tama rin tayo, okay? Another one is modification. Use multimedia resources like text, audio, and video tools to jointly construct knowledge, learning, and understanding of a portion of a play or a character as a group project. Okay? And the last one is redefinition. Answer the question, what did the culture of the time have on the writing of Shakespeare's plays by using a concept map, no? Tool and reconstructing a mind map, demonstrating key elements. And later on, I will be giving you a particular app na pwedeng magamit for concept mapping, mind mapping, and etc. So, my dear teachers, is it difficult? Of course not. No? Kaya lang yun nga, let's boils down to one question, no? Or one undertaking. Have first a needs assessment. If you think your students do not have access to technology that on a more complex note, so hinay-hinay lang. I mean, take it slow, okay? And the next one is the TIM, or Technology Integration Matrix, which basically incorporates 5 interdependent characteristics of meaningful learning environments. So you have active, okay, where students are engaged in using technology as a tool rather than passively receiving information from technology. Authentic naman, students use technology tools to link learning activities to the world beyond the instructional setting rather than working on the contextualized assignments. Okay? And collaborative. Students use technology tools to collaborate with others. Kaya nga dapat din, hindi lang more on individual assessment yung ginagawa natin. You also let your students do and perform collaborative learning. No? Gamitin mo yung project-based learning, inquiry-based learning, you're grouping them and finding solutions to the questions that you have posed, no, in the class. The next one is constructive. Students use technology tools to connect new information to their prior knowledge rather than to passively receive information. So, importante yun, di ba? In the cognitive learning theory, let your students, no, develop that thinking beyond thinking phenomenon so that uh, at the end of the lesson, they will be constructing new understanding, new knowledge, no? And sila lang ang gumagawa nun. You should be afraid when your students are able to uh, develop, no, and identify their new knowledge and wisdom kasi it's not about us already. It's all about them, no? So that at the end of the tunnel, they will be empowered and self-managing learners, okay? Holistic learners, by the way. And the next one is goal-directed. Students use technology tools to set goals, plan activities, monitor progress, and evaluate results rather than simply completing assignments without reflection. Okay? So, kailangan yung sinasabi ko kanina na yung content, yung pedagogy, and technology are inseparable. Parang they're intertwined elements and factors uh, which shall considered to be the purveyor, no, of the knowledge that our students want to achieve, no, at the end of the lesson. So crucial po yung five elements or factors when you were using TIM. Ito yung entry, where the teacher begins to use technology tools to deliver curriculum, content to students, adoption, the teacher directs students in the conventional and procedural use of technology, adaptation, the teacher facilitates students in exploring and independent by using technology, infusion, ito naman yung teacher provides the learning context and the students use the technology, and the last one is transformation, where the teacher encourages the innovative use of technology tools. Take this experience of mine. No? I guess you're familiar with the app Kahoot, especially the deaf and teachers. You're always using this, right? I have when I introduced this one to my college students, I had needs assessment first. Meron ba silang gadget? Kasi when you let them play Kahoot, it could be individual or team. So at the onset, I was deciding na teamwork kasi baka yung iba wala. I have observed and discovered na lahat sila ay merong gadget. And yung classroom namin, nag-explore din ako, data yung gamit, I can play with Kahoot. So, it took me 1 week to announce na on this day, prepare kayo ng kunting data lang naman para you can participate in the game. And it was meaningful, no? Kasi maganda ang Kahoot. It is interactive and purposeful. So, your students will be able to demonstrate understanding and live in their creativity and answering questions. Okay? And never forget 7Cs. This is actually supposedly part of the ICT integration models. And matagal na natin ini-embrace ito, right? But I'm just including this para for those teachers na medyo hindi pa nila alam yung 7Cs, ito yung dapat na ma-achieve ng K-12 learners natin. Una is critical thinking. It's our job, no, as teachers to pose a problem question. Let our students find the solution and do not ever give them the answers. Let them discover, so that's one way to enhance their critical thinking. And the next one is communication. After finding such solution, it's where the teacher is letting their students to share, no, their ideas, present crisp articulation of thoughts in the class, whether it could be face-to-face or in the online. Di ba, may mga discussion forum naman tayo or group chat, right? We also have collaboration. Hey, sabi ko kanina na we also let our students do group works, like sa flexible learning activities, crucial yung debate, right? So let them gather into one particular setting, kahit group shot lang yan for the meantime, but then the spirit of teamwork nandun. No? Kasi when they land a job, it's not about themselves eh. It's all about collaborating with other colleagues of them, no? In the real McCoy. The next one is creativity. It's where the teacher is aiming for the students to design something at the end of the lesson. As a teacher, it's your job to resonate an epistemic community in your classroom situation. May it be face-to-face or a virtual learning environment na hindi lang palaging sa atin nang gagaling yung knowledge, okay? If you have seen, siguro last year or 2 years ago, there was one particular student in Pisay, Philippine Science High School, di ba? Yun yung Pisay. From Leyte, na talagang, actually the mentor was my friend, or is my friend. His name is Rinaldo Garnase. And he's one of my co-trainers in a training center that's called PCPD. And according to him, his students learn 10% galing sa kanya, 90% galing sa internet. That's called autonomous learning. Yun yung approach na ginagamit ng ibang schools. No? Huwag na natin i-embrace yung we are always feeding our students to let them discover galing sa atin. It's not all about us already, my dear teacher. So, alam nyo ba yung student na yon won, no? Won a scholarship, won an award in the United States of America, and teacher Gernase was also given an accolade for mentoring that particular Filipino student. Among the worldwide students around the globe, Pinoy yung nanalo. So it's great, no? Na huwag naman natin i-spoon feed yung mga estudyante natin. Okay? That's why ako normally I am adapting Schoology as one of the things I do or as a virtual class. Although before COVID-19, hindi siya masyadong intense. Pero for now, kailangan i-develop natin sa students natin yung the way how they answer the class virtual environment. Okay? The next one is cross-cultural understanding, where at the end of the semester or at the end of the year, our students are able to respect diversities in the classroom. Kasi pag nasa workplace na sila, no, they're going to collaborate and connect with other nationalities or from other places, from our students, no, so from other employees or colleagues. So kailangan they are going to embrace and respect and understand, no, diversities in the workplace. And the last one is career self-reliance. That at the end of the day, kahit wala na tayo, they are empowered learners. They have developed in them self-leadership. Importante din yung critical thinking talaga, no? Para they can be able to adapt to the change that the world is giving us now. Remember, nasa VOCAC world na tayo, volatility, no? Uncertainty, complexity, ambiguity, and COVID-19 disruption. So, yun yung new trend ngayon that we need to address this multifaceted, challenging times that we are having. And along the way, when we're using applications, dapat alam natin yung definition ng digital citizenship. So it refers to a person utilizing information technology in order to engage in society, politics, and government. Crucial, no, yung role ng technology in the time of COVID-19. All of us were able to get data, we were accessing information, we were able to download OERs, the e-books, most importantly, no? So, kailangan alam natin na talagang it has a crucial element to who we are in terms of being a digital citizen. However, as a teacher, no? Or if you're uh, into a master's degree or doctoral degree, we need to have these three principles of digital citizenship. No? The first is respect. It means to say that this is one of the elements that we need to know. Yung mga laws, no? Yung mga etiquette, yung mga netiquettes na dapat nating malaman when we are using technology, and we can cascade this one to our students. For example, when you are not asked to explain, syempre magpapaala, yung mga factors na dapat nating gawin when we are using technology kasi rampant ngayon ang bullying. The next one is educate now or education. So it's where we use ICT, education and commerce para we can have access to the world. And the last one is protect yourself online. Um, as we all know, uso yung anxiety and depression. So, meron din mga bullying, no, na nangyayari, cybercrime. So, kailangan alam natin kung paano, uh, how to protect ourselves online so that ma-maintain natin yung uh, peaceful environment while we are uh, using and conducting our lesson. Again, respect, educate, and protect. Kasi, nag-i-evolve, no? There is a change as regards our educational landscape. Before COVID-19, nagbabago na siya. Actually, our students are born media rich, having that a network of infinite possibilities, no? Meron na silang gadgets, meron silang laptop, meron silang Wi-Fi connection. And it's our role as teachers, no, to let them think and reflect that it's not all about the gadgets. No? Most importantly is for them to develop holistically where when they are manipulating their gadget or operating it, uh, yung student engagement, no? Yung leadership na sinasabi ko, yung self-management, no? Yung 7 C's that they need to develop and enhance, nandun dapat. Okay? It's not all about the gadgets that they have. Meron tayong tinatawag na nanotechnology, artificial intelligence, ano pa, yung mga microchips, o yung mga actual disruptors. Pero sa ngayon, in this time of COVID-19, hindi na sila disruptors kasi it's part of the learning. Sabi nga, yung mga distance learning, alternative mode. No, hindi na sila alternative mode kasi we are already using it. And sana, maging open kayo doon kasi we were used to the brick and mortar structure in the classroom, di ba? Pero ngayon iba na yung takbo ng digital revolution. So, when we're using technology, may tinatawag tayong digital immigrants versus digital natives or how do we close the gap? Kasi, anong ibig sabihin when we say digital immigrants versus digital natives? No? Let me give you the difference. So when we say digital immigrants, they're adopters of the web technologies, they prefer to talk in person, they are logical learners, they focus on one task at a time, prefer to have interaction with one or few people, rather than many. They get information from traditional news sites, okay? Whereas when they say digital natives, they're born during or after the digital age. They were always on, attached to a phone or other device. Ayan, palaging na merong cellphones kahit natutulog, no? Or before matulog, merong cellphones na in-operate. Intuitive learners, they multitask, extremely social and multimedia oriented. My dear teachers, we should never forget that pag digital immigrants, they're ignorance already. No. Ito yung people actually na nag-introduce ng technology. Sila yung nag-introduce ng internet connection, ng mga applications, cellphones. Pero yun nga, kasi meron ng digital natives who are considered to be whiz kids, no? Where hawak-hawak na nila yung cellphones. Kaya, ang question doon is how do we adapt with this type of people. According to Mark Prinsky, the ones who coined the word digital native, dominant na ngayon, no? Yung demographic profile ng digital natives and digital immigrants are considered to be in decline nowadays. So, ano ang gagawin natin? Ano yung gagawin natin para both demographics can collaborate, no? So, kasi for example, sa UNESCO, ito yung sinasabi nila as regards the use of these two um, types of people. Okay, would you have sa digital immigrants, they're using Dropbox. Whereas sa digital natives, Google Drive na ang ginagamit. And I'm sure a majority of teachers are using Google Drive, right? YouTube naman yung sa digital immigrants when it comes to video. Aba, sa digital natives, gumagamit ng Filmora or OBS. And pwedeng QuickTime Player, meron, marami yan. Okay? PowerPoint, kay digital immigrants, aba, sa presentation, merong Pear Deck. No? One word, meron namang Penzu, no? For writing. For evaluation, Scantron ang gamit ni immigrant, clickers naman kay digital native. Okay? So, iba-iba. Look at that. No? Sa Kahoot, hala? No? So, we are digital immigrants if you're using Kahoot, whereas sa digital natives, we're using Socrative. So, nagagamit nyo na ba yan, my dear teachers? Baka medyo, ano na, no? Medyo ang hirap. Pero, ako personally, I have used some of these apps, no? Filmora, OBS, Kahoot, YouTube, Dropbox, etc. So, sana kayo, one step at a time. Siguro one day at a time, you try to embrace these things. Okay, so let's reflect how can people of these two groups work together? No? How can digital immigrant educators teach digital natives? No? How can we share the things that we learned from the webinars to our senior or seasoned teachers na alam natin? Kasi ang pinag say digital immigrants, ito yung mga seniors, senior management. Ito yung mga seasoned teachers na tinatawag. And yung digital natives naman, ito yung mga teachers na medyo these kids ng Generation Z, adventurous, laging nag-operate ng mga cellphones and gadgets. So, how can we bridge the gap? Again, so ito yon, collaboration is the key. No? So, dapat both ends ay mag-meet so that they can cater the best um, effective teaching and learning in the classroom if we're referring to educators. Okay? So, if you think you are a digital native, so why not share kung ano yung natutunan natin sa mga seasoned teachers. And if you think then, seasoned teacher ka nga, pero techie ka rin. No? You have a Zoom account. Sila wala. No? So, it's just a matter of really understanding where we are in terms of the pandemic that we are experiencing and then understanding each other and collaborate. So, ito yung 8 elements of a digital classroom. No? So, meron tayong tinatawag na spaces. So, ito yung brick and mortar and the virtual classroom learning environment na mararanasan ng mga estudyante natin. So, kailangan maging compassionate tayo, especially sa first day of the meeting natin, o ano yung mga ibibigay natin sa kanila. The next one is the tone, no? Kasi iba na yung tone na mararanasan ng mga estudyante natin when they are or we are using synchronous or asynchronous. So dapat teachers, yung mga materials na binibigay natin, yung mga learning content, assessments, will be also flexible toward effective teaching and learning. The feedback loops, nako, mas madali or mabilis nga doon sa online assessment. Kasi for example, if you're using Google Classroom, mabilis lang gumawa. Ay, hindi pa lang mabilis. It's quite hard. Pero you can right away get the feedback and the result of the test, right? The technology, with the heaps of technology that we are learning every day. So, just choose the most suitable app, no? Yung user-friendly, for example. Sa group chat, you can use Facebook, pero kasi abuse din ng Facebook, no? So, later on, I can give you one, pero let's try to think din kung kaya ba ng estudyante natin makipagsabayan using this particular app for collaboration and group chat. Workflow, first, it's from the teacher and then passes it down to the students. So everything else matters. It's how you play a role as a teacher when it comes to the student engagement. And the data that we normally upload in our virtual learning classroom, my dear teachers, I'm using Schoology, so uh, very convenient siya and secured. Yung privacy nandun, it's for free. So, depende na rin sa'yo kung saan ka mag-upload ng mga data mo. But if your school would like to use the G Suite Education, di ba, yung Google Classroom, so why not? The purpose and audience, this will be the important element, no, in a digital classroom. So, first, you need to also know the learning theories that you will be anchoring on the tools that you'll be using, ano yung mga learning styles ng mga estudyante mo, everything. No? Kailangan you are using the humanistic learning theory na you are adjusting, not your students doing it. And the next one is the products and opportunities. With the digital information that we get every day, ang daming opportunities, ang daming research topics, ang daming materials that we can download. So, just be considerate of the things that you learn from the digital information or digital world. No? Kasi some of these things might not be helpful, no, sa career natin, sa estudyante natin. So, you just choose the most and the best ones for your students. And kasi nga, flexible learning activities, ano nga ba yon? So, hindi naman ibig sabihin ay synchronous lang yan. We're also considering face-to-face, using websites, discussion boards, or online tasks. We also have CD rooms or hard drives, broadcast video. Well, our country is planning to have this one, right? Teleconferencing or video conferencing. We also have note making, group discussions, debates, surveys, gathering information, accessing and completing exercises, lab work. So, depende na rin sa flexibility natin, how do we transform our virtual classroom or yung modular approach na ginagamit natin para we can cascade the learning content, the pedagogy, and technology at the same time. Okay? So, importante din as a teacher to always embrace the use of diagnostic, formative, and summative assessments. And ikaw as a teacher, alam mo kung ano yung mga tools na gagamitin, no? When it comes to producing your formative, summative assessments. So, for example, listening skill yon. So, naturally, you're going to let your students experience an audio presentation, right? So, from that, you'll do your own thing. Okay, for doing e-portfolio. No? They're going to do that using a website, blogs nila, or etc. So I have here a question, my dear teachers. What do teachers need to do in order to demonstrate that they have met the learning objectives? Okay, so as we all know that we have changed into a new paradigm and where education is sharing. We can access free and legal open educational resources. We are very lucky. Ang dami kong, personally, I have downloaded a variety of ebooks ranging from research, speech, communication, English, language, linguistics, etc. So, ang dami po. So, we are very lucky to have it kasi minsan it's not for free. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce new tech tools for you, my dear teachers. Pero, and I'm sure naman that you are aware and already using some of these applications. Okay? So, let us first discuss open educational resources or OERs. It refers to materials that are offered freely and openly to adapt and use for teaching, learning, development, and research. Meaning, you can download it anytime. For example, if you want to download a certain survey instrument for your research, about type mo lang. Marami yan sa Google Scholar, no? Or kahit sa Google platform, marami po yan. So, anong ibig sabihin ng OER? No? So, Open Educational Resources na may license yan, pero it's for use, it's for adaptation and redistribution by others. And the authors and the providers are giving the users to adapt it, pero wag nyo namang i-copy and paste all. Kasi meron na tayong tinatawag na Turnitin. For example, you are presenting your research abroad, aba, be careful because you do have some applications, no, to verify how authentic your materials are. Okay, so if you want to know more about OER Commons, ito yung search engine that you may use para to download materials relative to your subject. So we also have this one, Explore Creative Commons, licensed works, marami po yan. We have the YouTube, Flickr, etc. And the Department of Education has been very bold and innovative as to the exploration of Creative Commons. So ano nga ba ang advantages of having this? No? Bakit meron tayong mga OERs? First is continually improve resources. So meaning, marami yan. Kasi nga, free and legal. And the publishers, providers, and authors have been very vocal and open to sharing it to everyone. The next one is scalability. Meaning, you can download it with little or no cost at all. So, noong una may bayad yan, pero ngayon, in this time of pandemic, you can download heaps of materials from the internet. Next one is innovation and talent. You can discover multitude types of innovation and talent kasi iba-iba yan. For example, from the United States of America, and bukas you're going to explore on Canadian OERs. No? Kaya, it's inseparable on yung how you can explore, no, to new discovery and learning. Less expenses for students kasi unlike sa books, bibili ka pa, papadeliver mo pa. Pero this one, when you have the internet connection, you can already have the access. The next one is quick circulation. Kasi if it's hard copy, it will take time. It will take months kasi maraming pagdadaanan yan. Firstly, papacheck mo yan sa editor, and then papa-Turnitin account mo pa yan, papa-evaluate mo pa yan for a certain committee. Maraming stages yan. But with the OERs, once the license has been gotten in by a certain agency or institution, bingo, you can already download the material. Expanded learning is the next one because we're just reading one page every day. Aba, you can already access to new information and learning. And the last one is augmentation of class materials. Ang daming available na OERs, ranging from content resources, syllabi, mga books, rubrics, video, tutorials, etc. No? What you need is just patience and time how to possibly locate, no, these OERs. No? However, meron ding mga disadvantages ang mga OERs. The first one is quality issues. Because marami nga, no? Pero hindi natin na-check yung quality issues ng isang OER na ginagamit natin, and we are presenting it to our organization. So be sure to always monitor and evaluate how quality are we when it comes to adapting and using and redistributing OERs. The next one is language cultural barriers. 90% of the OERs that we are downloading are based on English medium, right? So there are other countries that do not use English as a medium of instruction. So medyo nahihirapan sila. Okay? Pero sa atin, we are very lucky. Ito naman yung isa sa pwede nating maipagyayabang because we do have English as our medium of communication. It's not feasible for us to transcribe and access information from the internet. Intellectual property issues, kasi baka ginamit mo yan, minodify mo, but you are not asking permission from the author and from the source that you're using. Sustainability, magagamit pa ba yan next year, in 5 years? And ngayon, di ba, volatility, yung speed, yung complexity, grabe. Every day, it changes. And the next one is technological issues. Okay? Uh, magagamit ba natin or can download it offline? Hindi naman pwede. No? So, kasali pa rin din yung ease of use, yung internet connection, etc. Okay? So, I have here some recommended learning resources, the free online text library resources that you can use. We do have OER Commons, Project Gutenberg, OER Common Lessons and Activity Builder, Planet eBook, and Flatware Knowledge. So if you want to explore more, hindi lang palaging common, so why not also open these platforms for your use? This is based on UNESCO actually. Recommended learning resources if you would like to study and enroll yourselves in an online platform. So we do have MIT Open Courseware, Stanford University, Yale University, Harvard University, University of Kentucky, edX Open Courses, Johns Hopkins University, name it, marami yan sa internet. Kailangan mo lang i-manage yung time. Kasi baka you are writing a module, attending webinars, tapos mag-aaral ka pa, marami yan. So, please take it slow. Ako naman, advantage personally kasi I've been doing it for years. So, sana rin, hinay-hinay lang naman. Ito yung naman yung unang approach na ginamit ko. I'm taking it slow. Pero, we should never forget na ang functions natin as a teacher, no? Are actually bound into four. First one is instruction, community extension services, research and publication. Dapat balance yan para yung mental health natin is being cared and nurtured, right? So these are just some of the example providers of OERs that you might want to explore. Meron tayong Open Washington, Open Educational Resource University, Open Textbooks, and etc. Okay? University of California, if you want to explore on their course offerings online. Ito naman, mga libre din, pero may other courses online na may bayad. Pero if you don't have a budget for that, meron po silang mga free courses, and at the end of the training, you can have a badge or certificate. Okay? For open course software, again, we have Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Let me give you an example. If you are a TVL and TLE teacher and would like to learn about peanut butter jelly, so discover, just enroll and find the course. If you're a mathematics teacher and gusto mong mag-aral, explore ka lang kasi marami silang courses for educators. And you would like to explore on linear algebra. Ayan po yung example of the dashboard that you can explore. And actually, nagigilty ako minsan because I have let my students enroll in a MOOC while using the class that we have. But I'm doing it for them para ma-realize nila na it's also a great opportunity for them to enroll courses online. Aside from the materials that they get, meron din tayong certificate or badge, pero most importantly is you will be transformed into a new and better professional educator who can ready to face the VUCAT or VUCAT world. Disruption yung letter D na ginamit ko. Okay. So, ayan po mga example. And another one, if you want to explore for textbooks na may mga free naman, ito yun, si Yavula, a technology-powered learning. May mga free, meron din with premium, so just choose. For English teachers who would like to explore on communicative competencies, ranging from grammar, the from active skills, listening, writing, speaking, and reading, this is the best way for you to do that. Just enroll and open the portal, open resources for English language learning. Okay? So we do have here better listening, speaking for better communication, success in reading, effective writing, language through literature, and communicative grammar. So just choose, no? And try to explore. Ako, I've been studying online courses for teaching ang English grammar communicatively, about critical thinking. TESL, napakaganda rin po niyan. You can download a variety of materials. Next is Coursera. That is the same then when you enroll courses. We have University of Illinois, Penn University, John Hopkins University, Stanford. So, kung gusto mo namang pumunta sa iba't ibang bansa, pero wala kang pera, so this is the best learning opportunity for you to explore upon. Okay, so just try to open this in your online platforms. May mga popular courses tayo like machine learning, if you're a TVL, TLE teacher, neural networks and deep learning, technical support fundamentals, and etc. Just try to sign up and log in. And if you want naman to study face-to-face, no, sa tingin mo ba mahirap? Of course not. No? Walang budget. It was in 2008 when I was given a chance to study abroad, and that time I was an administrator of a certain university or college. So I had the chance to get nominated by my employer. No? So let me introduce to you Australia Awards. This is an award given by Australia to underdeveloped countries or third world countries like the Philippines, Vietnam, and other countries na they think could have that opportunity. So, why not choose this? Kaya lang it's a one-year application and you need to take an IELTS. What is an IELTS? It is an international English language testing system where you will be asked to take the test, and the four macro skills like the reading, listening, writing, and speaking will be measured and evaluated. Okay? Let's go back. If you want to know about this one, you may inquire from me kasi libre po siya. Kaya lang medyo long yung phase na pagdadaanan mo when you enroll this award. It's free, and I have chosen the University of Sydney and got the Master of Education major in Management and Leadership degree. And it really helped me a lot when it comes to my professional advancement. And if you want to also explore for courses, our very own University of the Philippines has been doing that or providing courses for Filipinos and abroad. We also have the TESL, right? My dear teachers, if you want to have the learner management system para sa August, choose the best one na para sa iyo ay your students can explore. Famous sa atin yung Google Classroom, right? Schoology, Blackboard, Canvas, Century Tech, Class Dojo, Edmodo, etc. So choose ka lang kung ano yung pinaka-user-friendly for you and introduce this one sa mga students mo. For webinars naman, di ba, for now, famous yung Facebook Live, meron ding Zoom, pero may bayad na rin siya. So, kailangan ng host tsaka attendees. You can have this one kung sa tingin mo ay okay yung Wi-Fi connection mo. Kasi if you're having a Zoom premium, be sure you've got a good internet connection. Okay? So if you're a teacher, so please be creative with your announcement. How can your students be able to access your meeting so you can have this one? This is an example from one of the Zoom sessions that I have attended, this TESL. Okay? And when I was attending a Zoom seminar, a TESL conference, I was able to meet new friends. And maganda rin po kasi you'll be able to learn new learning practices and benchmark from these people. So let me give you some of the webinar platforms that you can use as Talks Webinar, Zoom, GoToWebinar, Skype, Click Meeting, Webinato, Livestorm. Sikat na yun yung Google Meet din. Okay, so please try to use this or explore kung marami yung kayong or maganda yung Wi-Fi connection ninyo. We also have podcasting. This is for audio platforms. Kasi minsan hindi pwedeng video, so you can explore on this by letting your students listen, no, from the lectures that you have for that day. So what is podcasting? It's a platform where you may learn or you may let your students learn the coherent frameworks on a particular lesson by letting them learn the audio, no, presentation. Maganda po yan kasi your students are you're able to develop the listening skills. When they go abroad, may mga skilled tests na kailangan. For example, for if you want to go to study in United States of America, so crucial po yung listening test. So this is a great avenue for them to develop their listening skill, no, while answering a test, maybe. So these are example of the podcast video audios that you can download in the internet. No? And let me give you some of the example of the audio that I've been using. Lately, I've been using Anchor, Spotify. So kayo din, just choose what's the best and suitable for you to explore on. Yan. Marami po yan. Isa-isa lang po. Huwag namang latin para sabihin ikaw ay digital native. So, take it slow. So, this is an example of the webinar or the online course that I've been attending where my professor is using the audio through, tapos upload na niya through Spotify. Napakaganda ng boses ng professor namin. So, this is an opportunity then where you can test that your ability to become a motivational speaker using an audio platform. The next one is Schoology. I've been using this several years ago and maganda siya because the sense of privacy, yung instructions, learning content, materials, assessments, everything is in there. Para din siyang Google Classroom. You can download materials and upload materials and your students can download it right away. Yun nga lang, i-consider pa din natin yung internet connection ng students natin. Schoology is a website and an app that you and your students can utilize to share information, resources, and files. It's an LMS designed to provide a digital medium to enhance classroom interactions and support web page and content creation as well as collaboration. So this is an example of the Schoology that I have using my students' account. So it's where you can post announcements. Ito yun, my courses, my groups, resources, and grades. So when you click courses, you can make already courses from the subjects that you have. Parang din siyang Facebook, my timeline. Meron ding messaging, no? Where your students may let you do that. May mga assessments din na pwedeng ma-download. So features of Schoology, my discussion which allows the teacher to set up threaded discussion which allow for easy response and organizations. It also gives flexible instructional tools for teacher to easily differentiate instruction for students of different abilities. Okay? So this is an example of my Schoology, my picture para at least may personal touch pa din, no? Galing sa'yo toward your students and they can feel na nandun ka pa rin kahit you're using online platforms. Ito yung mga courses that I have for my students and marami na akong courses. Ang maganda dito, for even you've been operating it for 3 years, you can still see the courses and kung gusto mong i-delete, pwede din naman. Okay? So ito yung, if you want to make a course, so you can just click courses. So in the course of formative assessment tools, you also have this one, Kahoot, Code Everywhere, Socrative, Mentimeter, Pear Deck, Edpuzzle, Quizlet, Google Forms, and Survey Monkey. So pwedeng interactive or pwedeng through in the form of a survey. So ikaw lang ang pipili, no? Pero take it slow because other students might not be able to have access to this. Okay? For mathematics teachers, this could be some of the resources that I can give you. My Khan Academy, where you can get tutorials, videos for mathematics subject, Quizlet, Teach Thought, etc. For science teachers, we have this learning tools and platforms, TED Academy, TED edX, no? Science app, eBird, meron ngang NatGeo, right? And other platforms na pwede nyo pong explore. Yan, Google Science Journal, edX-TED, 3D Galaxy Map, Bio Incorporated, Sandbox, and other free science applications. So, I know that you are familiar with some of these tools. So, pag hindi pa, please try to also use these platforms. For the math and science, meron din 99math.com, Math Aids, ayan, Math Playground, PBS Kids, etc. Marami po yan, pero I'm not saying that you are going to do and explore all of those. Just use the best ones and apply it sa online learning and teaching. We also have 15 assistive technology tools and resources for students with disabilities. So we have assistive technology module, assistive technology act, AEN student summary worksheet, text-to-speech assistive tools, and other platforms for your students. So maganda rin po ito para um, diversify yung learning experiences na ma magagamit ng mga estudyante natin sa classroom. Well, then, if you want to make a video, siguro mga a 2-minute video or 5-minute video, you can use Powtoon. Yung parang you're importing a 10 PowerPoint slide to that of a video. Gagawin mo siyang video with images, platforms, designs, music, etc. Use Powtoon video. And I'm pretty sure you are aware of this. And for those who are not yet exploring in this, so please try to do so. Okay? Of Canva, and I know you're familiar with what Canva is. Powtoon, yeah. Kahoot? Sino ba sa inyo ang may hindi alam sa Kahoot? Eh, talagang famous po yan. So, if it's your first time, so please lagyan na lang, and may mga free, naman, discovery tools for Kahoot, no? Kung ano yung gusto mong topics, or you can make your own Kahoot para your students can have an interactive game. Mentimeter is for you to be able to get the concept or the pulse of your students or your co-teachers when you have the lab session. So can use this Mentimeter. It could range from Wordles, graphs, multiple choice type of question, and etc. So while conducting a lesson, makikita mo yung thoughts and ano yung mga questions na gustong ipabatid sa'yo ng mga learners and co-teachers mo. So Genial.ly, this is a great PowerPoint tool, no? Napakaganda. Please try to explore this. I assure you, your audience will become fascinated by the way how you use Genial.ly. Libre din siya, pero may premium din. And normally, you're using yung traditional PowerPoint presentation, pero please try to also use this. Pero you cannot access this without the use of internet connection. So Genial.ly is a free web tool used to create easy-to-use and interactive visual content. So it can be used to enhance presentations, infographics, reports, posters, or guides. So everything is there. Just try to explore and be patient po kasi medyo kailangan mo ng complex skill when using Genial.ly. Ito naman po Slack is for teamwork and collaboration. For example, sa office nyo, if you're the head teacher, principal, maganda po siya kasi formal, and it's where you can call, you can edit, you can share materials, lahat na nandun, and may privacy din po, no? For example, may webinar yung school nyo, so you can use this particular app, no, for the audience and for your students. Pwede din naman pag techie sila and meron silang internet connection. Pero be careful din, please try to do needs assessment if makaka-explore ba sila No, kasi normally you need an internet connection. But I assure you, this could be one of the great platforms that you can introduce, no, into your own classroom environment. Syempre, I guess you're familiar with TED. It's where you can get inspiring lessons and worth life, meaningful interactions from various motivational speakers. So, TED Ed lessons worth sharing. As a matter of fact, during the time of COVID-19, meron silang in-introduce din na home TED Ed na it's for parents and students na in coping the recent crisis that we are experiencing. So, marami po yan if you want to explore, ranging from different or various topics, di ba? Ano nga yun eh, bullying, yung digital netiquette, and many other things. So, I'm urging you to do and download this platform kasi you can have a variety of tools. So, let me share to you or with you an example of uh, a TED Ed lesson that you can use for bullying. Please take a look.
The world makes you something that you're not, but you know inside what you are. And that question burns in your heart. How will you become that? I may be someone unique in this, but I am not alone. Not alone at all. So when I became a fashion model, I felt that I finally achieved the dream that I've always wanted since I was a young child. My outside self finally matched my inner truth, my inner self. For complicated reasons, which I'll get to later. When I look at this picture, at that time I felt like, Gina, you've done it. You've made it. You have arrived. But this past October, I realized that I'm only just beginning. All of us are put in boxes by our family, by our religion, by our society, our moment in history, even our own bodies. Some people have the courage to break free, not to accept the limitations imposed by the color of their skin or by the beliefs by those that surround them. Those people are always the threat to the status quo, to what is considered acceptable. In my case, for the last 9 years, some of my neighbors, some of my friends, colleagues, even my agent did not know about my history. I think in mystery, this is called a reveal. Here is mine. I was assigned boy at birth based on the appearance of my genitalia. I remember when I was 5 years old in the Philippines walking around our house, I would always wear this t-shirt in my head. And my mom asked me, how come you always wear that t-shirt?
Okay, so sorry for that because I'm just giving you an idea how to inject TED Ed in your lesson to let your students demonstrate the effective part of the lesson. So I hope you can also include this one in your list, no, for a greater understanding of the lesson if you're presenting for the day. Another one is Viva Video. Well, it's a great platform for you to make videos for the lesson that you would like to present. You can edit. There are graphic designs, materials, and resources where you can have an interactive effects also, no? And at the end of the day, you can also share this to your students. It's one way to make your learning fun and experience another alternative way of knowing and learning something, no, beyond the lectures that you more normally do. Okay, so you also have screencastify. You can video this by downloading in your Google Chrome, pero the time is limited, no, pero if you want to present a shorter version kind of a video like pang motivation lang siya, you can really use this Screencastify. Napakabilis lang po, mabibuilt in po siya via your Google Chrome. So please try to explore on this. Pero let me share with this checklist with you in recording videos. So in setting up considerations, yung location ng room, no, location, kailangan syempre kaaya-aya din. You will not be distracted in your students then, no? We also have yung background, yung backdrop, adequate lighting, high quality camera, sound quality, microphone, no? Software, yung mga PowerPoint na gagamitin mo for video recording, I can vouch for OBS, pwede din pong Filmora, Movie Maker for Windows editing, iMovie for Mac editing, Handbrake, where you want to convert video files, and Audacity for sound editing. So, maganda po if you have video record kasi your students can access it in their own path, place and time of study. Once nandun na yon, kasi may time talaga when you're using Zoom and the internet connection is terrible. So, this could be the great alternative na para gawin mo para sa lecture. Okay? So, please consider also video recording. So, recommended learning resources. These are tools to create and organize video content. So, we do have the explain everything. Parang interactive whiteboard po siya. We also have YouTube, Hightail, Flipgrid, Google Drive or Dropbox, and WeTransfer. So, if you want to know more about this, so please try to explore in your search engine. Class Dojo, this is a learning management system that I have mentioned a while ago. You can download materials, also upload everything in there so that your students can have a fun and meaningful uh, uh, virtual classroom management. Okay. The CAN Academy, this is for math and science teachers, no? There are tutorial subjects relative to your lesson, no? Na pwedeng magamit natin sa classroom. So why not explore on this then, aside from the Google Classroom that you are using or any other type of LMS. Pwede siyang downloadable via your cell phones, and you can have range of various topics, no? Math, science, economy, arts, and humanities, etc. Marami po yan. So, just take it one day at a time. Now, if you're teaching literature, aralin panlipunan, and gusto mo yung mga ginawa ng mga estudyante mo, may mga images, yung mga points na they are doing, may mga ganyang effects. So, why not try Hypodeck? Okay? We also have Duolingo. If you want to try other languages abroad, so why not explore this via your cell phone or sa Windows menu po, okay? So while in this time of pandemic, it's also a great opportunity for us to embrace other foreign languages. Now, if you're an art teacher or engineering teacher and let your students know about 3D modeling, so you can use the Tinker card, you know, for Autodesk. So try to also explore on this particular app. And for note-taking naman, you can share this one to your students and colleagues, the Evernote, no? Marami kang magagamit din for note-taking in lieu of the face-to-face interaction that we are doing. Explain everything. I have mentioned this a while ago. It's an interactive online whiteboard. And ito yung sinabi ko rin kanina about concept mapping, mind mapping. Everything is there in MindMaster. Just try to log in and explore on the various types of maps that you may use in your content. Okay? And sino ba hindi nakakaalam sa ZipGrade? No? Pag ikaw yung teacher ng DepEd, dapat alam mo ito. It's ZipGrade. Right? It's where you can right away get the feedback and the result of your students' examination by using a Scantron paper. That is an example of a Scantron paper. Downloadable po siya via ZipGrade app. Meron tayong parang dots there. Ito yung parang when you put the flat flat surface of the paper and you are going to check, no, the 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 material. Okay. So we also have Google Docs, Google Forms, and Google Slides. Okay, I know you're familiar with this one. So um, what you just need is to enroll for a Google Classroom, and everything is there. Moodle, Canvas, Blackboard, Sakai, D2L. So please try to also explore on this platform. We also have EdVoice, no? Where it's where you want to live in the communication to your classroom and tie up with other colleagues and other students, no? We also have Cold Turkey. Ito yung nagbablock mga undesirable applications in your laptops and cell phones. So, pwede din po ito. And sa mga estudyante nun po na while having the lecture, uh, you can let them download this type of material. So, we're thinking about content pedagogy and technology in the time of COVID-19. Mahirap po siya kasi hindi naman tayo sanay na everyday ganito po, no? But then, this is the new normal that we need to embrace and explore kasi if not, our students will be left behind. And as teachers, it's our mandate to provide education for all, no? Where equality and equality will be there. Uh, Rethinking or redesigning a technology-supported environment could be a bane or boom, pero flexibility is the key. Collaboration is also one of the factors that we might be successful in thriving this time of pandemic. So let me share with you my favorite poem, an English poem by John Godfrey Sachs. It's The Blind Men and the Elephants in the course of our COVID-19 response in terms of education sector. So we have here the equity, no, going on to excellence. So this is the thing that I would like to reverberate in this webinar. Yes, we are prepared when it comes to the digital world because we have been attending trainings and webinars. Pero I'm using the elephants here. Why? Because as we all know, our educational system is composed of multiplicity of subsystems, which might hinder the type of education that we are providing to our students. So it will not be anymore a healthy elephant, no, or healthy elephants because of its complexity. That is why, as a teacher, uh, we are embracing technology, yes, but then we let ourselves understand then what ICT integration is when we are doing it in our own classroom context. And most importantly, let our students understand and adapt, no, to its complexity, whether it is we are using modular or the online or the synchronous or asynchronous type of learning. So that at the end of the day, we can be happy na through collaboration, our students are able to still uh, get and acquire the best quality education in this time of COVID-19. So, my dear teachers, let's add compassion to our online courses. You don't have to build a trapdoor for your students to fall through. It's your job to point out there that there's a hole in the floor, that at the end of the tunnel, they can still get the best learning experiences if you are there facilitating and guiding them along the way, right? Now, pero with all of the apps and technology tools that we have learned, we should also think, you know, or consider that the idea that technology may cause or may not cause mental illness, right? According to the survey of UNESCO, 61% of people have felt jealous, depressed, sad, or annoyed after checking updates on their social media. Kasi yung ibang teachers natin may printer, meron silang laptop na 1 terabyte yung capacity, meron silang ring light, everything. Meron sila, tayo wala. So, this meron, that's where we start to feel anxiety and depression. So let's try to guard ourselves in this time of crises and also our students as well, most importantly, kasi yung iba nga walang internet connection and meron pa nga silang problema as regards physiological needs. And here comes another way of teaching, online teaching and learning, right? So let's try to also embrace empathy in our classroom virtual learning environment. So let me share this with you. I thought the pursuit of Philippine education transcends us being a sporadic community with a steadier, innovative, and sustainable presence. So let us solidify the intense feeling of belongingness and connection and the massive effort for quality assurance, innovation, and undertaking. So education for sustainable development empowers learners to transform themselves and transform societies. This transformation is as urgent as the response to the COVID-19. Let's not squander this opportunity to change learning and build a better world. So I have here a question for you, my dear teachers. What are the important tools we need to support the 21st century approach to learning and teaching? So I guess ito yung mga sagot natin. Internet, pen and paper, cell phones, educational games and apps, tests and quizzes, a good teacher, educational funding, loving parents, all of the above. Right? Would you agree with me? Answer all of the above, but two important things are missing in there. And what do you think are the missing uh, links here? Okay, can you guess? Can you please put it in our chat, your answers now? I'll be waiting 1 minute to do that. Okay, tingnan natin if you got the correct answer. You have 1 minute to do that. So I guess you're ready to share your answers. Please post your answer in the chat box that we have now. So ito yung sagot, questions and the process to uncover their answers, and problems and the invention of possible solutions. So my dear teachers, it's our one way to always embrace the capacity of our students to discover and tackle their critical thinking and answering the problem questions that we are giving them so that they can face the world holistically and uh, globally, right? So let me share with you my favorite student leader of all times. Her name is Malala Yousafzai. Is actually coming from Pakistan. At an early age, she has seen and observed that a majority of the women children in Afghanistan were not given the chance to education. No? And Taliban's were abusive. And so Malala was exposing this, no? And a certain BBC News anchor or correspondent was able to expose this type of not letting the Pakistani children, especially the women, having that access to education. And so it created a massive impact around the world. That's why Malala Yousafzai was given Nobel Prize Award in 2014. And this was actually gotten, I guess it was in 2012 when she was shot in the head, when she was about to go to school with her friends by the Taliban. So luckily, for several months, she was recuperating. And after that, right now, she's living with her family in London. And just recently, I have seen a news that Malala has been able to acquire a degree from a university, a famous university. So she's the student leader at an early age. She was exposing the malpractice of the Taliban. No? So this is a great opportunity for us to know and discover where our mission is as a teacher. No? As what Stephen Covey would always tell us, begin with an end in mind. It's not all about technology actually. Nobody replaces the teacher. That should be our personal mantra as a teacher. So if you have questions, my dear teachers, I am very much willing to answer it. And please do not forget to contact or email me in my email, gordonas@pup.edu.ph. For that, maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. May God bless us all and kudos, mabuhay.